Hey guys, I hope everything is going well with you on this cold, snowy day or snow day that we're having. I hope your spending fast is going well. Ours is going great. I went on a $0 date with Wendy on Friday night, and we still had a great time. So it's going very well. I just wanted to touch base with you today, as it is a snow day, and give you something to chew on as you meet in your growth groups this week. But I wanted to start by telling you just a little story. When I was 7 years old, I wanted this thing, and it was called a Play-Doh Fuzzy Pumper Barber Shop, and I wanted this thing more than anything else. Do you guys remember those? Just in case you forgot, check this out.
It's the Play-Doh Fuzzy Pumper Barber and Beauty Shop.
Sit right down, crank up the chair as Daddy grows his Play-Doh hair. Shave and a haircut.
Next, please.
Brother needs a little off the top in the Fuzzy Pumper Barber Shop. We'll fix Mommy's hair just so you can make it with Play-Doh.
The Play-Doh Fuzzy Pumper Barber and Beauty Shop from Kenner.
I begged my parents for weeks to buy me a Play-Doh Fuzzy Pumper. I mean, it was all I talked about, and it was just all the time and all I thought about. I thought my life would be so complete if I can put one of those little plastic figures on the thing and make the Play-Doh make his hair grow out, and then I get to cut it off and do it all over again as a 7-year-old. That was everything. And then one day, I was at the grocery store with my mom, and I saw this kite in a box of kites, and this kite was super cool because it had these giant yellow bloodshot eyes on it. It was the spy in the sky kite. And I begged my mom for the kite. And my mom, being incredibly wise and smart, said, okay, I'll buy you the kite, but that's going to mean no fuzzy pumper. Well, hey, immediate gratification. My mom was so smart, she was saving a ton of money. I mean, a cheap little 99-cent kite versus the Play-Doh thing. I didn't realize she was saving a whole lot of money at the time, but I was like, I'm going for it. You know, we're going to do this. And so, let me just do this here. And so I said, let's get the kite. And so I got the kite. I took it home. It was springtime. I flew it up in the air a couple times. And then it ended up in the closet. And I kind of forgot about it. In fact, I have no idea what happened to the kite because eventually I moved on to just wanting something else. I had to have, right? And so as children, we desperately need to learn to be content with what we already have. Otherwise, life just becomes a cycle of accumulation and discontent. Accumulation and discontent. What a horrible cycle to be in. And we have this void inside of us that we're just constantly trying to fill. And so as adults, the danger is we have the freedom and the credit, right, to buy things whenever we want, and we don't have our parents to tell us it's not such a good idea. So like a lot of things, materialism lures us into thinking we'll be satisfied once we've made one more purchase. And I'm sure you've felt that way and you've been there. But it only leaves us unfulfilled and wanting more. And so contentment is a must if we're ever going to master our money. Okay, did you catch that? Contentment is a must if we're ever going to master our money. Hebrews chapter 13 verse 5 says this. It says, don't love money, be satisfied with what you have, for God has said, I will never fail you. I will never abandon you. If you remember one thing today, I want you to remember this. God is enough. God is enough, right? God is longing to be what you want more than anything else. And in a world that places so much value on materialistic things, our goal should be to value God above all else. So how do we do that? Well, just real quickly here. First, we have to learn to be satisfied with what we have, right? I just mentioned that. Ask yourself, do I really need this new thing, or can I make do with what I have, and be honest with your answer. Sometimes I think we fall into consumerism and materialism, and we lose control over our money simply because we're not being honest with ourselves. We'll be honest with your answer. Sometimes the things that we have, they just don't hold the appeal that they used to because maybe they go out of fashion, they go out of style. They don't hold the lure because of the lure of a newer model or style or version. It just makes our old stuff seem less appealing. I'm sure you've been there, right? So learn to make do with what you have. Learn to make do, and you will take one step closer to mastering your money. Be content, okay? Be content. Why? Because God is enough, all right? And the next thing is draw closer to God. James 4:8 says, come close to God, and God will come close to you. Make it a daily practice to draw close to God in prayer and scripture reading. Make that a daily practice. Because time in God's presence, it has a way of causing the lure of temporary things, right? Like the new shoes, like the new gadget. The time in God's presence has a way of making the lure of temporary things seem to fade. Right? Remember the old song, turn your eyes upon Jesus and the things of earth will grow strangely dim? Yeah, that's what happens when we spend time in God's presence. Why? Because God is enough. All right? So thanks for checking in with me, guys, and I will see you next week at Mercy Vineyard as we continue our Mastering Money series. God bless you guys.